Hello. Today I'd like to share with you a few reflections on the examen of consciousness. It's a simple form of prayer that you can do in 5 minutes or 15 minutes, and if you want, you can spend longer with it. But there are 3 purposes for it. It will heighten your attentiveness to God's presence and action in your day or in your week, in your heart, in your prayer, in your life. It will also heighten your awareness of how you respond to God's action and presence in your life. And that all leads to a deeper intimacy and honesty with God in prayer. When can you do it? Where can you do it? Well, Ellen likes to do it in her den every day at around 3:30, 4 o'clock. She looked back at the last 24 hours since her last examen. Bill likes to do it when he's driving home in his car, watching the traffic. And Steve likes to do it the last thing in his day, when he goes to bed, he does it. Well, how would one do it? Well, there are 5 components to it, and an acronym, TEACH, would be helpful to remember the steps. But again, there's no absolute order in the steps. You might want to do only A. You might want to interchange E and T. So it's not a recipe to be followed. The T stands for Thanksgiving. So we pray to God to believe more in God's unbounded love. We believe it's happening all the time. And then we pray to trust in God's faithful presence and action in our life. Tagore, the poet, says God comes and ever comes. So we want to be aware of it. The E stands for enlightenment, spirit-guided insight, where I ask God to help me see glimpses of God's presence in action. I need help to do that. And I also pray that I will get some glimpses or insight into my way of responding, or my lack of responding to God when God does break into my day. The A stands for account. I'm going to rummage back through my last 24 hours or week. How has God been with me today? Maybe I saw a rainbow, or maybe I had a compliment, or maybe somebody smiled at me, or maybe someone listened to me, or maybe I finally was able to get through a project I'm trying to be working on. So I want a level of awareness and a deeper level of response to these experiences of God's presence in action. So I'm taking an account. C, if and when my awareness of God's presence in action with me is not very high, I feel sorrowful, or I feel contrite, or regret comes in. So I own that, and I talk to God about that. I wish I had been more responsive. I wish I had been more aware. And this leads me then to an honest and a humble and a very real conversation with God. And the last step is a hopeful resolution for the future, or just for tomorrow. With God's help, I tell God I want to be more conscious and responsive to God's presence in action, and I want to grow to recognize how God's self is revealed within me and all around me. I want to find God in all things. So this is a hopeful spirit, and I hope to be more attentive tomorrow. Let me close with a poem from Tagore. It's Old and New is the title. O God, grant me my prayer. May I never miss the bliss of the touch of the one who plays in the many. Thank you.